Hey, welcome to FunNGun. Got another Cyelee product review for you on the table here today. But before we get into that, I want to go ahead and say a big thanks to Cyelee for bringing me in as an affiliate of their brand. So if you're looking to pick up this T10X Pro or any of their other products, you can go ahead and use the link in the description below there to open up their website, and then use code FunNGun at checkout to get 10% off nearly anything on the website there. And that's also going to help out the channel a little bit. Now, I will say up front here that they did not send me the T10X Pro for this video. I actually picked this up with my own money because I needed a sight for my Recover Tactical S Pro setup here. If you're interested in the gun setup itself, I will link the video to that at the end of this one. You can check that out afterwards. But before we get to what's in the box here, I'm going to go ahead and start off by showing you that the gun itself is unloaded. There is nothing in the chamber there, nothing in the magazine. There is also nothing in the front magazine. I'm going to go ahead and set those off to the side there because we don't really need them for the rest of the video. And I'm also going to set the gun off for a second. We're going to go ahead and start off with what's in the box here. So I guess the first thing you're going to get is the box itself, and it's going to have a little bit of information here going over the dot itself. It is fully submergible. It is multi-reticle, so that's actually pretty cool right off the bat here, because with the price point this dot comes in at $159 or $149.99. And if you use code FunNGun, you're going to get 10% off, and that's going to make it $135.99 or $135 essentially. That is a really good deal because most of the time for that price point, you're going to get either the 2 MOA dot or the dot circle, and you're not going to have the option of swapping in between them. So the fact that you get all three of them at this price point is really cool in my opinion. So let's go ahead and get into what's in the box. Now, I will say that this particular dot has a few less things in the box than some of the other Cyelee products I have reviewed. But first off, you're going to get the lens cloth. You're going to get a lens cover there. You can slip on there when you're storing it. You're going to get the owner's manual here to go over using the different, or swapping in between the different reticles there. I'll get it out in a second. You're also going to get the riser here, so if you're mounting this on something like an AR-15 or something, you're going to be good to go there. Has some lightning cuts on it, which look pretty neat because they actually mimic the cuts on the side of the dot itself. So pretty cool touch there. That is the way they chose to do that. And then you're going to have the little tool here to mount everything up. Now, I will say that this did come mounted on it, but the S Pro does not require this, so I took it on off there. Now, I will recommend that either way, if it comes mounted or not mounted, to pull the screws out and go ahead and put a little Loctite on them. Just tighten them up nicely so you don't get out there sightening the gun, and then your dot starts loosening up because they just kind of tightened it lightly from the factory there. Didn't know which particular version of the mount you was going to use there. So just go ahead and make sure you lock your screws on there real good. So let's go ahead and bring up the dot here and talk about it a little bit. Now, like I said there a second ago, this is the multi-reticle version of it. I do have it set up as a dot circle, and I have to say this dot is actually extremely clear and actually has really clear glass as well. And the reason I knew it was going to be that way is because one of my buddies has actually picked up one of these dots prior to me getting one of them, and he absolutely loves it. And he was just bragging about how clear the glass is and how clear the dot itself is on the inside there. So that told me that I knew that I might as well go ahead and pick one up as well because it's going to be a good dot, as has any of the other Cyelee products I've got my hands on as well. And one of my other buddies checked mine out, and he liked it so much he went ahead and picked him one up to go on his actual PCC 9mm AR style setup. So definitely a nice dot, durable design, and cool thing here is the way the sighting in part of it works to make sure you know exactly which way to turn your turrets. It's got a little arrow on the inside telling you which way to go, and then the top side is actually the tool to turn the turret, and that is for the elevation and the windage are both done the same way. So that's a pretty cool setup. I've seen that on a few other dots, and it's always been a nice thing in my opinion. And you got the little O-rings there. When you tighten that up, it's going to keep your caps from coming off and seal them up as well. So nice setup there. Then right here, you're going to have your plus and minus button to adjust the brightness up and down. And then you're going to be able to lock. You're going to be able to change in between all your different variations of the dot right here by holding down. Can't remember which one of the two buttons is, but you hold one of them down more for a few seconds and it will swap in between them. This also has shake awake, motion detect, standby built in. So if you want to throw this on your bump of the night gun, such as if you have this Recover Tactical set up for that, you can use it for that. It's got up to 50,000 battery life. Like I mentioned before, it is waterproof. It is IPX7. If I recall, I think that's 6 foot of water for like 30 minutes, something like that. I can't remember the exact standard there, but plenty of waterproof rating. So if you're using this when it's raining outside, you're going to be fine. Got the side mounted battery right here, so you're gonna have quick access to the battery, which is always nice. And it's gonna be parallax free, and you're gonna have 8 daytime setting and 2 night vision settings, so you can use this with night vision. So you get pretty well the same standard features that you're gonna get with any of the kind of X Pro Cyelee style dots. This, like I said, is their more high-end rifle dot. And another thing I will say, that as you can tell here, the sight over bore specifically on the S Pro here is going to be very high, probably 4 or 5 inches there, as you can see there. And you did have enough elevation in this dot to go ahead and sight that in. So you're gonna have plenty of elevation, excuse me, to sight it in on pretty much anything you want to put it on, because there's not many other things you're going to think of you could put this on that's going to have that much of a sight over bore. So that was nice. And while I'm talking about adjusting it and everything, it does have nice tactile clicks in there, so you can tell when you're turning it, and it's nice and tight, so it's not just accidentally turning it too many times. So really nice looking dot, really durable looking dot. And this is going to be your low profile mount that is currently on there. Like I said, you do get the higher rise, but obviously I didn't need any more rise with this particular dot, because it would be, or setup, because the dot would be setting somewhere up here, which would be pretty crazy looking. But overall, everyone that I know that has this particular dot so far really loves it, and I'm really loving it myself quite a bit. And I will say that this thing has taken quite a beating being on this S Pro, because the gun that is setting on there is my 17L, and it is ported, and it's just absolutely blasted the front window on this particular dot, and it has held up to it just fine. And it has also been battered with brass coming up out of the ejection port right there, and it has done nothing but just scratch the finish a little bit. So pretty durable sight, real clear dot, real clear glass. I feel like if you pick one of these up, you're getting a good deal on it, and you're going to like it. That's all I had for today. Okay, if you made it this far, I just want to say thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. If you're looking for more FunNGun right now, you can click one of the 2 recommended videos there. If you're looking for more FunNGun later, you can go ahead and click that there subscribe button. I sure would appreciate it. And if you're finding me from Facebook, go ahead and click that open app button at the top to make all that a lot easier, and I'll see you next time.